Silence is golden. Hey babes, how you doing? That was weird, wasn't it? Apologies, it was a little bit like I couldn't get the stream to start for some reason. I was all ready sitting here already. I couldn't get it to start. The old YouTube wouldn't do it. How is everyone doing? Hey Nadine, hey Lindsay, hey Wes, hey Mortagon, hey Mathlity, how you doing peeps? Hope you are well. So we are doing some more. We're going to do some more Zimba today. So this is part of the old Kangathon. So for those of you who don't know, we've been streaming and making videos and all the gubbins for the Cango Wildlife Ranch. The whole big thing is starting this. It's starting tomorrow, I think. I've been doing it all. Been doing it all month, but it's starting to. The whole big thing with everybody is starting tomorrow. Hey Jay Blaze, how you doing? Hey Swifty, hope you're good. So if you don't know about this is basically a big thing. Loads of people coming together, all collecting, trying to raise money for the dudes at Cango Wildlife Ranch in South Africa. It's all been kind of coordinated by Paulsley and his gang. But yeah, there's loads of us now. There's a big old gang. So links are going to be in the description. There will be a Nightbot thing pop up. I'm surprised it's not already popped up. And you will see when we get into the actual main dealie, we now have we've got like a thing. We've got like a thing on the screen. So this is the fundraising thing, and that is like how far we're along the progress of this. But as I said, it's not officially started yet, so I think we're doing pretty well. We had a few people donate on one of the first streams, and we had a bunch of people pop up in the last one. So at any point when you see this happen in the stream, there might be a little pop up. I cannot figure out how to get the drums to work. I'm not going to worry about it too much. But yeah, we're going to do some Zimba. So there is there's a few things going on in Zimba. I'm going to have to do some skullduggery here actually. I might just put you on the BRB screen for a second. Hold on, that's not even going to work. I might just be showing you some stuff I didn't really want to show you, but we shall see where it loads in. So I've got a big so there's going to be an episode on Saturday. You love my builds photos so much, thank you very much. That's very much appreciated. There's going to be a new episode on Saturday of Zimba. I have got a whole bunch of things plates spinning. Go on, I've revealed. So you guys are going to get a sneak exclusive of something I've been working on. I will show you. So this is the entrance building. You've seen the car park, but now there is a big under construction thing here, which is blocking out everything. So I didn't want to show you. I didn't actually want to show you in here either, but I might as well show you now. In fact, I won't show you that. You can all be teased, and you can look at it. You can watch it on the video on Saturday. So there's going to be a video on this on Saturday, and there's going to be another stream on it on Sunday. So this is going to be a pretty chill one today. If you haven't seen this before, this is all my new African zoo dealie. You'll see all the details of all of that gubbins in there on the episode on Saturday. I'm a tease, I know. But we are working towards... Basically, we've got a few things we can do today. We can work on this whole big central plaza. We can cut some holes out. And I think on Sunday stream, I will bring in the elephants. So that will be the big job for Sunday. So if I didn't say this before, we're basically picking up one of my old elephant habitats, and we're going to bring that in here. I think I've got that somewhere. Should have that somewhere here. So this is going to be like a collection of a whole bunch of different previous habitats plus a bunch of new ones. Why can I not see elephant? Okapi, pangolin. Why can I not see elephant? Hey Daniel, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I am actually going to be streaming some some House Flipper stuff tomorrow. But we're going to do a little bit of House Flipper stream. Not a building stream, but we're going to be watching the... I'm going to do a little bit of a stream where we kind of watch the developer stream and look at what they're talking about in terms of luxury flipper. So it's supposed to be like a new update tomorrow coming from them. So the way this is going to work is I did a little bit of an extension here. I think I said I was going to do that. It still kind of looks like it's still designed to look like it's an elephant tusk sort of dealy. So I'm going to kind of come through. Basically, everything is pretty much just going to be like a passage, or just have like a bit where it's stuck into this. So it'll be pretty chill. We're just going to do like, this is pretty much just me doing some work. This is pretty much just me doing a bunch of gubbins. Hey, Mrs. T, how are you? Seen you in ages. I'm grand. Hope you're well. What is your favourite animal from Africa pack? Oh, I don't know. I think I like the fennecs. I think I actually prefer the fennec foxes over the meerkats, to be honest. The fennec foxes are so fun, and they're super cute. And I think they're just a bit. I don't know. I feel like they've got some of the like. They've got some of that like canine stuff going on. Like the canines in the game have always had. Seem like they've always had like better enrichment and like activities than all the rest of the species. I don't know if that's just my take on it, but yeah, it's always felt like the canines have had I've always had a slightly. Did I do a double? Yeah, I did a double post. I've had a slightly better like version of their. They just seem to have more enrichment stuff basically, and then add on to that top of that the fact that they're super they're little tiny things. So yeah, I think I like them, but I change a lot. It tends to be. This has always been the way with the game for me, that I tend to change my opinion of what my favourite is based on like one of the latest ones I've done. Like if I do a meerkat, or in fact I'm working on a meerkat habitat for Tigwadu now as well, which is looking pretty cool. It's massive though, it's got huge. But yeah, so I don't know. I think they're I like all of them. Yes, saw that on Discord. I'm having to join. I've been through your Super playlist for the last 6 or 7 months. I watched them all. Nice, well done. That is some commitment. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that there's enough in there in that stream that kind of sparks my interest a bit. Because it would be cool to kind of get that feeling back again. I thought I'd pop in and see if Zoo Flipper is a game I'd think I'd enjoy it. Well, it's a lot bigger, I have to say, like building wise, it's a lot bigger learning curve to pick up this game. But the creative possibilities of what you can build, I mean, obviously you're not really seeing me build much at the moment, but the creative possibilities of what you can build in this game are beyond anything I've ever played before. Like, it's just massively beyond. In fact, I'm doing this in a really stupid way, aren't I? I should do the last one first. Yeah, but it definitely takes a lot more. Yeah, it's a lot more finicky. But I think most people, so like Lindsay, for example, Pinsy in the chat there, is somewhat of a convert to the virtues of Planet Zoo. She came from the House Flipper community, as I did. But yeah, just the possibilities of what you can do in this game are enormous. And all, yeah, just as always been kind of. It's always been crazy. So should I make this? I'm trying to work out whether I want to make like guess it probably should come round more. Exit out that way. But there are definitely some tricks and things you can do. You know what we could do? We could make this all look like it's on like a... in fact, we won't do that yet. Yeah, there are some tricks to make it easier. Once you get into it, as I said, it's all the learning curve. But once you get into it, it's got a big... I mean, one of the biggest things for anyone that's new, obviously you've got all these pieces, right? So you've got hundreds of pieces now, and you can move that in. I can move that in any. There's no snap points. Like, that's one of the biggest things. There's no snap points in this game for like an enormous amount of objects. So it can be a lot more like finicky and time consuming to build, but as I said, what you can build is hugely open-ended. It's basically just, this game is only limited by your imagination. Let's go from there, and then we'll go, the doors going that way. I've been to Chester Zoo, Blackpool Zoo, a zoo in Cornwall, and Welsh Mountain Zoo. I think I'd have a few ideas. Well, that's always handy. That's always handy. You should give it a go, dude. I mean, it definitely. I think most people would say, it requires a reasonable amount of patience to get through the kind of initial learning curve of it. But once you do, you're in a whole new sandbox to play in. Definitely check out some of my videos. Check out some of the vids. You won't get like the live stream is a pretty because I'm very much a builder of detail, so it's very much about kind of. I'll show you the car park briefly. Go past this whole construction site. So like, there's a lot you can do, but like each one of these rocks is like hand placed, basically. Well, groups like that. Zimba looks amazing and wonderful. The African penguin going to be. I don't think the African penguin is actually. I don't actually think that's on my list of things to do. Mainly because I didn't have a plan for doing a kind of aquatic bit. I think I probably am going to do an African penguin like one-off habitat. And I'm considering an African penguin being included in Tigwadu. But yeah, I don't think I have actually. This is the first time ever doing a zoo that I've actually got a plan. So I'll read you off the habitats we're going to have. So I'm going to bring in the fennec fox habitat that I created, the blueprint that we've got for that. The meerkat habitat. So I should have all of these here. So we'll have this fennec fox habitat in here somewhere. And then we'll have the meerkats that I did as well. We'll have a camel habitat, which I've never done. So there's going to be like a desert. There's going to be like 3 biomes basically, like a desert biome, a grassland biome, which is going to have my old elephant habitat, the Buffalo River crossing thing, which I might put some crocodiles in as well. I'm experimenting with the idea. A new rhino habitat, which will be the new white rhino. And a new lion habitat. In fact, I'm really looking forward to, because I've never built a lion habitat in the game. I'm super looking forward to that one. And then the last section will be like a rainforest section. So that will be the okapi habitat, a new gorilla habitat, a pygmy hippo habitat, and that's it. Like a gorilla house. Go start on the Planet Zoo plays now. Use them as instruction. Yeah, I would say my stuff is pretty. I haven't got an enormous amount of I haven't got an enormous amount of tutorials. There's definitely people that have got more like tutorial content. Like Paulsley and those sorts of people. How am I going to do this? So it would be cool to feel like it's a sliding door. Let's maybe recess that back in there a little bit. But what's cool about this, Daniel, is that a lot of the there's a lot of stuff on the workshop that you can use. So there's lots of like, you know, pre-built habitats, or you know, if you're kind of looking for like a starter thing, there's like, you know, a bunch of kind of things you can just pick up and use. Like I think I'll probably upload this car park and stuff as like a starter that people can pick up. I want to kind of make this look like it's like a rolling door. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm not great with tutorials. I'm not great with like taking instructions, to be honest. I'm good with just kind of going, I'll just get on with it and see. You might find there are some things that when you've started playing that you kind of want to find out, which is, you know, which kind of how I did it. So if we just kind of do this, and we try and like imply with like maybe like a track here, that this is like a rolling door. I think that would be cool. So you just kind of come out from this. It doesn't even really particularly need to close, but so we'll do a bunch of like gutter pieces on the floor down here. So it's super warm in the UK still, so if you get any if you pick up any strange noises from, it might be like traffic and stuff going past today, because I have the window wide open. What animals do you most want to have in Planet Zoo? Interesting. Do you know what? I don't have a desperate clamour for more animals, because there's so many animals that I haven't used. I mean, I do think the biggest things that would make a difference in terms of gameplay are definitely like the birds and stuff. Like it's the big gaping hole that's missing in every zoo, is that you don't have any. You don't really. Now we've got the way to easily make aviaries. Having no birds to put in them is kind of a bit sucky. But I'd be absolutely amazed if there is no birds, if we never get birds in this game. It feels like it's inevitable, and it feels like it's kind of logical that, you know, birds will come. The one thing I'm worried about is that we basically get birds in a sense that's just like an extension of the exhibit animals, that they're just kind of things in a box that you never really have much you can do with. I've been thinking about putting out a video actually, because I have a little list of things. I have a little list of things that is more like features that I'd like to see. I mean, for me, this has always been a game about building. You know, I think there's quite a few people like that in the community who would say, you know, this is a game that's about building, and the zoo bit of it is just like a you know, a mechanic to build around. Is the construction from the viewpoint of a person, as in House Flipper, or is it more 2-point hospital type build? No, it's not in the, you know, it's not in the perspective of a I mean, so I can I don't have the zoo open at the moment, but yeah, there's people here. So these are some staff members I've just got in, and I can switch into their camera if I want and walk around in like first person perspective. That's probably going to put me on the roof. But you don't have to build in that. Yeah, you don't have to build from this perspective at all. It'd be really hard to. So you've got a free floating camera. So I'm controlling the camera. The building is enormously more involved than House Flipper. I think if you watch a couple of videos and a couple of streams of mine or anybody's, you'll pretty much instantly go, "Oh yeah, I can see that." This is vastly. I mean, like, for example, this is where we are down here, building at this sort of scale, and I can take a piece and place it anywhere on this huge, great big map that I have. So I could build this. I could fill out this whole space if I wanted to. So that's a perspective of how much space you've got. You think sloths? You'd love to see sloths. Yeah, I mean, there's loads when you think about it. There's like, bats and stuff. Like, we kind of, there's still a bunch of things that are kind of mainstay. Every zoo pretty much has bats in it, right? I mean, I can't remember what that factoid is. Maybe someone can look it up. But like the percentage of mammals on the earth that are bats, it's mad. It's like 30. I think it's something crazy. Like 30% of the world's mammals are bats, which is pretty crazy. But I guess they're kind of in. They're in the bird category, aren't they? They're in that bird category because you can't have bats that just chill, and don't do anything. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so that's going to kind of just open through. So can I make this easy on myself and just grab that whole? Yeah, this is another one of the the once you have this sort of tool. Well, one of the things that this definitely kills most building games on, definitely anything like House Flipper, is the fact that you can create a group and then just duplicate that group. And you can go, you can do something and then just go, no, I don't want to do that. Undo. Hey, elephant, how you doing? It's not hot here. Oh, you changed your mind. It is hot. It obviously is hot. You changed your mind. Did you just check the temperature and we're like, actually no, we checked that statement. It is. It's damn hot. Percentage of total mammal species on the earth. Bats account for about 25%. Rodents account for 50%. And all other and what? Hang on, Lindsay. Is that real? That is mad. So is that the number of different species, or is that just is that total population of all mammals? It's not hit. Hang on, it is. Whereabouts in England are you? Because it is bloody hot where I am in England. It is bloody hot. According to Google. Yeah, but is it so are you saying that it says that based on the number of species? Or is it based on the population? Do you know what I mean? So there's more ants on the planet than anything else or whatever, but it said 34 degrees. Is that what it is? I feel like it's got warmer as the day's gone on. This afternoon I was like, it definitely was a bit cooler. This is a classic English person doing a stream, but this is a conversation about the weather. But yes, 34 degrees in your car. Oh, I don't even want to know what it is in my room while I'm streaming with my computer next to me. it's probably, I reckon it's probably like 30, 37, 38 sitting in this room with this massive computer pumping out boiling hot air. Oldham hasn't been below 20 vote for a week now. Yeah. We're just not made for it. I was saying to someone the other day, it's like, the thing is, so I remember living in Australia and like my clothes when I lived in Australia were like made in a different way. They were just my like, if you buy a cotton t-shirt in the UK, it's still really thick. it's not made of the right material, or it's like there's too much of it. Whereas if you buy that in like, oh actually this is not glass, is it? We're not getting glass here. This is not this yeah, so it's going to be glass from here, so I'm squaring this off. Okay, that's fine. Meaning there's another heat wave. Yeah, it does. I think there is. It's crazy. It's crazy. What's going on with this roof here? Eek. Oh, Z fighting. Can't be doing. I can see the Z fighting. Can't be doing with that. That's got to disappear. Oh god. Yeah, so it's very warm. It's very warm. I think it's supposed to be getting a bit cooler at the weekend, which would be good. That's why the stream is an hour later today, because I was like, I need it to get a little bit cooler. What's my favourite animal? What, in the game or in real life? In real life, I would say something like, well, oh, that's tricky. That is tricky. I've been pretty lucky that I've seen some pretty amazing real life, like in the wild animals. Like I've been to Africa and I've seen elephants and stuff in the wild. Yeah, when you see elephants in the wild, it's something different to seeing them in the zoo. Hearing the noises they make and seeing them all like interacting and stuff, seeing elephants do all the things you see on the documentaries where they're like, you know, fighting and stuff, doing their kind of clashing antlers and whatever, not tusks, sorry. That's all pretty epic. But I don't know. Oh, that's a really tough question. Maybe we should just make this neat and not try and. That's a really tough question. Maybe I would say probably something like the pangolin or something like that. I've never seen one in the wild, but they're just like really interesting. In fact, I was watching an episode of the Chester Zoo thing the other day, the behind the scenes of the Chester Zoo. There's like a documentary thing, and they had this tiny little like mouse thing that had like a snout, like almost like a trunk, and it was like of the same family that elephants are, like the same genetic family. I was like, that's just mad. How is this thing? How have these two things evolved from the same like base? Thought there's one in the west of USA. Do you mean? Yeah. Yes, I've seen males doing that. They've got all their so I've seen some pretty awesome stuff in the wild. I've also seen like Tasmanian devils in the wild in Tasmania, which is pretty cool. I stayed in this place that had basically it was like a little eco lodge place where you stayed in these little kind of almost like little they weren't. I guess they were kind of like cabins, but they had the front of them just like a glass wall. They were pretty rough looking. They weren't exactly. Yeah, it was glorified glamping. Well, it was glorified camping. It was glamping, pretty much. But this place had. They had. It was like a part of the conservation effort for protecting the devils, and they had this their whole thing was like sort of, it was like probably only like 4 or 5 cabins, and the guy that ran it fed the Tasmanian devils, and he said they won't come they won't necessarily come, but what they did is they had if you can imagine, the front of the cabin was like a glass wall, and so everywhere in the cabin you could see out of the onto this little deck that was just outside, and there was a post just outside, and the guy, when we went to bed, tied a chicken carcass, like it wasn't like a horrible manky chicken, it was just like they'd had chicken for dinner, and he just tied this chicken carcass up outside, and he said there's a chance, but it's not that likely, but there's a chance that the devils will come and take it in the night. That sounds weird, but so I pulled up this armchair and literally just sat there all night waiting to see, and yeah, they came and they took it. It was pretty amazing, and they're super cool. They're really weird looking little things, really cool little things. So that was they're pretty high up on the list. I've seen platypuses in the wild at the same place as well. I think those are the things that are like, I think Australia has like an abundance of stuff that's just like nothing else quite like it. Nothing else quite like the stuff you see in New Zealand. I think in Australia. I think Australia is pretty blessed for its wildlife. How long did it take you to build the Zimba Zoo? So far, God, I don't know. I don't know. Not that long. This one's not been going for that long. This is probably this is the second stream, is it? And there's only been one video, so not that long. I mean, I tend to just, obviously when I'm streaming a very small percentage of what I will end up doing. I think I looked at the last stream I did on Zimba. I ended up streaming for, I think, maybe 2 hours or something, and that ended up being about that bit of what I ended up with the footage of that being maybe 20 seconds of a 20-minute video. So that's an indication. Oh, this isn't working. What am I doing with this roof, man? It's not working. Why have I even got it at a different level? That's my problem, isn't it? Why have I even done this at a different level than the rest of it? Thanks very much. It looks all right so far. It's got a long way to go. I mean, this is not even probably, there's not even 10% of what it's going to be once it's finished. I have to say, I'm really enjoying having 2 zoos on the go, and I thought what I was sort of worried about was that I'd end up just kind of doing one more than the other, but I really haven't. So Tigwadoo is not going to be. There's not going to be an episode of Tigwadoo this week, but hopefully the week after, or next week. Sorry. And that's probably still my favourite. I'm really enjoying doing this one, but We're still not quite where we are with Tigridoo. I prefer. So I'm going to leave that a different texture because I want to keep it looking like that. I want to have that shape preserved. Do the animals interact with each other and the viewing customers? They do. They interact with the. I don't think they really interact with the guests. But you can see in videos, so I mean it's difficult, we've got no animals in. Well, let's go just quickly look at this guy. So I've just got this guy hanging out in here. So if I started doing something, different animals have got different interactions and behaviours and stuff. If I started doing something in, for example, if you watch the wolf habitat, for example, that I made, you start doing something in the habitat, they'll come and check it out. They just come and it's like, what's just happened over here? And he'll come and check it out. And so they hover around the area that you've just done stuff. But they've also got things, they've also got like enrichment items. So they've got these things that they'll do specific little animations for. Yeah, it is really cool, dude. I mean, it's an awesome game. I would quite comfortably say this is the best game I've ever played. The guests are a little bit less clever, definitely. But the guests will check out your, come and check out your habitats. Obviously, they come and look at things, and you can set you can kind of control to an extent the guest behaviour as well in some ways. So if you want guests to look at certain things, you can do that. But yeah, it's got a little. I'd say it's probably still got a little bit of a way to go on that. There's some stuff that there's some frustrating things in terms of like, guests kind of don't always path in the way you'd want them to path and all that sort of stuff. But broadly speaking, I'd say they're pretty smart. That's better. I've just put all that down and then I've just taken it all away again. They do. You don't see them doing it, but there's like a particular animation for the mating. You basically just see them kind of like walk up to each other and do a little kind of, move around or a little jiggle or whatever. But you don't see them actually like bumping uglies. There's no like actual kind of, no. There's no business. There's no business time. Hey Crocs, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the guests maybe. If you make a really boring zoo, they've got to find some way of entertaining themselves, maybe. But no, I mean, it's. I would say what's really cool about this game, and this is what Frontier have done this really well, is that if you're someone that's massively into animals, there's enough in this game. If you're someone that's massively into building, there's enough in this game. Do you know what I mean? It's like just having the animals and interacting with, like, looking at what, they're all really well sort of studied and put together. And Frontier do a really good job of kind of, making sure there's enough to kind of entertain you if you're an animal lover. And then if that's the case, all the building stuff is kind of a bonus. But I'm kind of the other. I mean, I do. I love a zoo and I love animals. I think I've probably learned more about zoos since I've been playing this game than I knew before. Which is pretty cool. Which is a pretty cool thing. But I have to say, I mean, there's a bit of a. So this game is an evolution, if you like, of the previous Planet game, which is Planet Coaster. And I'd say this subject. This is probably one of those. This is one of those sort of sacrilege things in the Planet Zoo community to say, because a lot of the previous community of Planet coaster people came over and played Planet Zoo. This subject matter, so the subject matter of animals, is more interesting to me than the subject matter of coasters was. Which is, yeah, not that many people. Well, I don't know. Maybe quite a lot of people would say it, but I know amongst the creator community. Oh, this is annoying. Can't get this bloody roof. Hey, crazy mum. How you doing? Hope you're well. I cannot get this roof to sit quite in the right place. Let's group it all together. I want it to be... I don't want it to be showing. I guess what I could do is... I don't want it to be showing on either side. I want it to be nice and clear. See, I don't want this raggedy shape. I guess what I could do is just grab that. Duplicate that lot. Ugh. Pain. Do. Let's do that. I think that's probably easier. I do enjoy the build games. Theme Hospital, 2 Point, Sims, Prison Architecture, House of Bricks, etc. Definitely purchase this, I think. Yeah, this is... I got a bit bored of 2 Point. It's a cool game, but it's not... For me, it's not a building game. It's a simulation game. And it's I just found it quite repetitive. There are still some people who play Ark, yes. So for those of you who don't know, I originally started playing. It was Ark Survival Evolved was the first thing on my channel back in Deer. Let's separate the roof section. And I still have a love of Ark, and that was the first thing that I played that was kind of really my first kind of gaming experience of building creatively. It just my big problem with Ark is always just the grind. It's always just that. It's the pain of the grind. Did I get that? I didn't get that little section. I think I probably, well, I don't know. I mean, I do still quite like the exploration bits of Ark. So I can sort of potentially see that, you know, still being a thing that I do sometimes, but I didn't. Where Ark lost me really was the just checking all the Z-Fi in here. Where Ark lost me was the tech stuff. I just don't like the tech stuff, and it's been tech for too long. And it's obviously not going to change now, but I think we're good. Right, that end obviously all needs tidying up at some point. Alright then. So we could do something with that edge as well. I probably will have to do something with that edge at some point, but not today. Not today. See, all that edge has got like a jitter to it as well. Okay, so this is all going to be walled across here. I've made this so awkward, but it's my way. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Nothing is ever simple. And take that point, 2 Point after 6 or 7 levels can be very samey. My thing with that, Daniel, was once I'd built one, I didn't really want to move on. Like once I'd spent all the time getting one really big, I was like, I don't really want to move on to the next one, start all over again. It just felt like it was like really repetitive. Not even like, I don't think I even really wanted to leave the first hospital. I think we played it for a few streams, and I got really quickly got to the point where I was just like, I don't really want to do it. New map where you have tech when you arrive. Yeah, but I don't. But I don't like any of that, Crazy Mum. I don't like it. I liked the original kind of survivoriness of the game, and the whole. Because the thing is, right, for me, I mean, that was such an indication of that it just was not. It wasn't doing what I wanted the game to do, which is, fair enough. I'm not. I guess I'm not in the majority, but it was. What's fun about the game is getting to that. But I think I said this on the stream at the time. Right, for me, a dinosaur doesn't mean anything if you don't need it. And as soon as you've got the tech stuff and you're traveling around on the tech stuff, you don't need the dinos. Everything's just cheap. And the whole point of breeding the dinos for me was all about them having some value. What am I doing this? This should be glass. That is glass. So what am I doing here? Maybe this bringing this in such a weird shape. So for me, the tech armor stuff that you get in Ark when you first spawn in on the new map, it just sort of cheapens like that last bit of the game that I kind of really enjoyed, which was the exploration thing, because you can just fly up. You just fly up in the air. You die, you spawn back in with more tech armor, and therefore tech armor, which was like end game piece, is pointless. It doesn't have any value anymore. Why bother even taming a flying animal when you just fly around? I mean, I haven't played it a lot to form that much of an opinion, but that was the thing that just kind of was like, I don't know, it just doesn't do enough for me. But then, to be honest, I've never massively been into all the lore and stuff of Ark. I've never done like any of the bosses or anything. It's not really been my thing. I'm just not really that interested in that stuff. But nice to be able to build extensions onto original hospitals to tackle the new goals. Yeah, that was my feeling. It just felt like a lot of the stuff you were doing in the next hospital was like a repeat of the previous stuff. But then I think that some of that is down to because I know you can do the blueprints of buildings and stuff, can't you, to make some of that easier. Building 2 got repetitive, then having to train all the staff at the new hospital and research all the diseases again. Yeah, exactly. I felt like you spent a lot of the time redoing, as I said, just redoing the task you'd already completed. I mean, it's got a really cool aesthetic to it. I definitely like the aesthetic. That food is also when you have beaten all the bosses on the other map, so that's the level to make it easy to do things. Yeah, I do get the whole I kind of do understand that it, in terms of the story of Ark, it makes sense that you're at that level. The things that I loved about Ark, and I love about the original maps and Ragnarok and those sorts of things, Ragnarok, was all the big sweeping vistas and all that sort of stuff, the big beautiful scenes, the things that inspired you to build buildings yeah, the things that inspired you to build stuff that were like had amazing views. There were some of those. There's definitely more in this latest DLC. In Genesis 1, or whatever that last one was called, just didn't have any of that. None of it. I just didn't want to build in any of it. And then you sort of go, okay, this is not about then. This is not about building then necessarily, or big sweeping vistas. This is about exploration then, is it? And then you're like, well, not really, because you can fly everywhere and it's a smaller map. So I don't know, it just wasn't for me. I just kind of, I mean, it's obviously a much bigger game than this, much more successful and all that sort of stuff. Just wasn't a fan. 2 Point Campus is the new one, isn't it? Yeah, I've seen some of that. I can say you cannot use tech for boss fight on that map, and you can use. So yeah, I do. I get that. I get you do have choices still. I just it didn't feel like the game was kind of, you know, was catering for that as much. But I'll definitely. I mean, when Arc 2 comes out, I'll definitely play Arc 2. I'm sure I will. What am I doing? I want actually just a single panel. Please tell me I left one of these window panels. Oh, Egypt. I got that. So I've got to have a glass. Guess we could make some of this wall. Just kind of do that much. In fact, that should probably be wood. No, it's not going to be wood. Seems like it'll be more of the same. Yeah, I think the gameplay will be more of the same. It'll be pretty repetitive. Just a different setting, isn't it, basically? 2 Point Campus. Oh, I'm really annoyed that I did that. I should have kept that section of the window separate. See what I'm getting there. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I'm assuming that. Well, the thing that's interesting about 2 Point Campus, I guess, is what would be like what's going to be the alternative to medicine. I think the whole game is really driven about, you know, finding cures for stuff. What's it going to be? What's it going to be at university? Is it about learning stuff? Or is it about getting up to university mischiefs? Is it going to be about, I don't know, free thinking experimentation? I don't know. What's it going to be? Oh, God. I want as a builder as I'm not tech at great help on that map. Is it a tech? Do not need help from other player. Builder as I am a. Is it a tech has great help on that map? I'm not quite sure I'm following you, but I think I get what you mean. But I can see how it can be helpful, but I don't. I guess I did kind of always like the fact that your dinosaurs are your tools and stuff. I never really liked any of the tech stuff because I think it just took away from that. That door is now not lined up with this one. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in what Arc 2 brings. I think Arc 2 is only supposed to be next year. Definitely intrigued to know what that's going to be like. I can already guess one of the things hire teachers train them up. Oh, you reckon? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that makes more sense than what I was saying. So it's more from the perspective of the faculty. Yeah, that makes more sense. Maybe you've got to get like, yeah, maybe you've got to achieve a certain number of students passing and stuff like that. I guess that makes more sense. I think I was taking it more from the like students' point of view, but you're probably right. Your thought makes way more sense than mine does. Maybe you have to like reduce the number of STDs. You need some animals just not to fly. Yeah, I don't know. I've always had mixed feelings about the flying in Ark, because it is one of those things that does, you know, I think it's one of those things you've got to be careful of, like, at how quickly you get into flight in the game. Because once you get into flight, you stop looking at the map. You stop seeing all of the cool stuff that's on the map. And you start just start bombing over everything. So there's definitely a point at which, like, once you've moved into that stage where you're just, you know, it is just then about building, which happens to most people pretty quickly. Then that's the time to get a flyer and utility flyers and stuff. Not possible at campus. I mean, what else could it be? I think that's it. Maybe you've got, you have to manage the traffic light disco. Does anyone else have traffic light disco? Or is that a thing that's not? Maybe that's the thing that doesn't happen anymore. Like universities. Traffic light disco was one of those things that you had to. So this was during Freshers Week. You basically put on you color coordinated your outfit to indicate how available you were. So if you put on green, basically you were you're up for some crazy times. I see best from there. I'm looking. Yeah, that's true. That is true, actually, Crazy Mum. You're quite right. It's definitely an advantage to have flyers to do building, and sometimes you can't. Yeah, you need to actually be up on a flyer, don't you, on the back of something to do some building. I feel like I set myself up for that question, Jamie. I actually don't really remember. I feel like it probably was yellow. I feel like anyone that wore green was just, you know, it was just a bit of a scream of desperation, wasn't it? Just a scream of desperation. If you're like, please take me home. There must have been people in green though. Maybe that was it. It was mixed messages. My pants were bright green. I had bright green underwear on, but everything else was a mysterious shade of yellow that you were never quite sure. I haven't quite managed to line these doors up, have I? But never mind. I think maybe we'll just hoof that section over a bit. Tattooed a green hat, yellow shirt, and red pants. Exactly. Keep them guessing. Keep them guessing. definitely one of those things I'm still not very good at organising my groups, especially when I'm in a stream. I get a bit lazy with making sure I'm managing them all. Keeping things organised is a big thing in this game, building wise. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I am intrigued by Arc 2. I have to say, I think it's interesting. It looks like, I think I've said this reference before, and no one ever really gets it. But the trailers remind me of a bit. There's a bit in Cloud Atlas, the film Cloud Atlas, which is set. Is supposed to be set in. I think it's supposed to be set in like a future where we're on like a second, like the human race is on like a second loop. So we've like got to a stage in our evolution where we've kind of, I don't know, something's happened. I don't know if they ever really explain how it ends up being, but we're kind of like re-evolving again. So we've gone back in kind of like a primitive time. It's obviously got to be a whole different story. I just thought Tame was up for it. Yeah, maybe I was just a massive tease. Everything else was green and then my pants were red. Cannot see there is some plays on your... Yes, I cannot see... Well, I'm not playing on that server, that old server, the Ragnarok one. I think is still active, but no one's been on it in ages. Crazy Mum. A bunch of people started playing on one of D's servers. That Shimmer was coordinating, and that's open. I think that's still open to anyone who's within my community, and that's better. So that's now just kind of open, and I think this will be the shop. That was kind of the plan. This is going to be the shop. There's a little bit of messiness there. And then I don't know what this will be. Nothing. Probably that would just be a bit of nothing. Bit of nothing. So we probably should tidy that edge up. Does my stream keep dropping out, guys? I'm getting little red bits every now and again pop up. Do let me know if it's taking a dump. Looks a bit like it's lagging out sometimes. Okay, so what we're going to actually do inside... Occasional tiny spikes, no problems though. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I don't think all that there was, Crazy Bum, was a link to the server. Oh, sorry, a link to the Discord of that other server. So there wasn't a link to. There wasn't like a new IP address or anything. This has got to go. Okay, right, so let's do some planning in here. So there's going to be, so that's obviously, as I said, that's going through to the park. So this is going to go through to the zoo itself, and the first section is going to be what in front of us is going to be like the rainforest part of it. This way is going to be the savannah part of it, and then kind of back over this way is going to be the desert. Could do that the other way round though. Maybe I'll do the because I want to bring the foxes. I want to bring the fennec foxes in. I mean, I've got the fennec foxes and the meerkats. Let's just have a quick, just do a quick save. Thank you, Crazy Mum. Thanks for coming in. Take it easy. What's the most disappointing game you ever played? Like the hype, the trailers, the previews got you super ready for it, and you played it, it was just a wet fart. I don't know. Probably Fallout 76. Yeah, I think that's probably it. It's probably that. I spent a lot. I mean, that was like 50. I don't generally go for big blue chips, blue chip games. Actually, this probably should be grey, shouldn't it? That's grey over there. Yeah, and that one I spent whatever, it was like 50 quid or something nuts on that when it came out, and it was just rubbish. All of the gameplay parts of it were so massively repetitive. It was all just, yeah, it was all really it was all just like do a task and do this thing, go here, shoot this thing. And it had, I kind of came into it hoping that the building stuff was going to be good, because Fallout 4 had a lot of modding that made the building mechanics interesting, and Fallout 76 was basically just kind of was supposed to be an evolution of that, and I think most people that played it just never really felt it was doing much. So that's probably my biggest. But yeah, I think I probably, well, I bought that to make content on it, and I think I made a bit of content on it, but like I just streamed a couple of times, and it wasn't really my cup of tea anyway, in terms of the like, the shooting crap. No Man's Sky, yeah, No Man's Sky was a bit disappointing. I did make quite a few videos on that, and the building in that was really like linear, unfortunately. Okay, what we're doing. So let's just have a little think a second. So if we're gonna have, let me just save it a minute. I know I've just saved it. I'm gonna save it again. So if I was to bring the fennec foxes in as the first habitat we see, my thought was to go with this idea of it being like a little, that there's like a little oasis, and there's like a little, North African town. Did I include any more of that in this one? Not really. I have to say, this is probably the bit I struggle with the most in the game, is the transition from, is that like first bit. Like I think I'm all right at doing like an entrance and a zoo, but that first section, it probably just needs to be a big plaza, doesn't it? It probably just needs to be a big area. Because I'm on a big scale again now. I keep forgetting, because Tigradoo is very much all in a small scale. So let's flatten this off a second. I feel like this zoo could quite easily end up being really flat, which I've got to be a little bit careful of, but not too worried. Where's my actual pathing? I've got no pathing yet. This is the concern. I've got no actual paths yet anywhere. I need to decide. I think I need to decide what I'm doing in this central section before I can move on. Yeah, No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky had so much promise. I don't think I ever really expected it to be. I don't think I ever really massively expected it to live up to the hype. Anyway, because it was crazy what they were saying it was going to be able to do. Hey Fauna, how you doing? I'm working on my Zimba zoo. So this is the entrance building. This is the entrance building. I've got a big secret bit that's behind here. I built the car park and a bunch of things a couple of streams ago. Oh no, you can't see. And then so I'm doing this today, and then Saturday I've got a video coming out which will reveal all the crap behind there, and the bit that I've sort of showed a little bit of accidentally at the beginning, and then Sunday we'll be streaming this again. Seeing this on Instagram under construction, yeah. Yeah, I'm never really good at doing that, but there's a load of stuff that I've done behind there that's ready for the video on Saturday, so I didn't really want to spoil it all. I'm trying to work out at the moment. The idea of this entrance building is that everything really is all just in this central plaza, but it all kind of sticks into the building. So this is going to be gift shop. So gift shop this way, this side. That goes into the zoo. So we'll have a plaza, like a big plaza there. So really I could just like, is this all flat? I could just put concrete over this whole area and then build it up from there. I think there's going to be like an implied office space in some of these bits. But we'll probably have things like what do you have? I guess you have things like buggies and all that sort of stuff that can all just be kind of stuck out the edge of this building. And I'm not too worried about, as I said, I'm not too worried about keeping that shape. So I'm quite happy to have bits sticking out. I think maybe that should be darker. Let's make that darker, so it doesn't blend in with the other roof so much. That's better. So now we keep the kind of elephant head. Weirdly. Oh, yeah, we probably want a cafe and stuff as well, don't we? So that could definitely be here. So let's cut another hole out. Let's cut another section in. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. This was the problem because it's all doing this weird slope. Oh god. The pain. Actually, that's not too bad. So we can cut a section away of this side, not of the other side. Oh, it's got floor in it as well, isn't it? I forgot. It's got a floor that goes up. I think that's probably all going to have to go. All the visitors digging tunnels to look under the construction. That's what the song says. No. Hey Blaine, how you doing, buddy? Seen you for a while. Hope you're all good. I was thinking about you actually with all the flooding and everything. I hope you weren't caught up in that. All my little European friends. Hope everyone was doing all right. I know that was pretty horrible. It's way more messy. Annoyingly, it's way more messy on this inner edge. I don't really know how it got the outer edge so clean looking, and then the inner edge is all, it's got like, it's all these double ups. I don't really know how I did that, but it is what it is. It's too late to fix it now. So I think what I'll have to probably do is push all of this up, come back and fix it later. God, it is so warm. warm. I'm melting. Melting. Other side of the Netherlands, it's the sea flooding. I'm scared. Oh, right. Okay. That's okay. Right. So I didn't realise you were that side. Yeah, because it was all like the western side, I'm guessing. It was pretty horrible looking though. Lots of shittiness. Sorry, yeah, eastern side. It'd be the east of the Netherlands, wouldn't it? Right, so I'll have to fix that up. I have to fix that up later. Annoyingly, what I'll have to do is I'll have to do this, duplicate the piece, switch it out with a smaller beam, and then bring it down in order to get the line. Because otherwise, the curve won't come round right. Because obviously this is all curved, so all of those pieces are curved. Pain. The pain of doing anything complicated. Why do I always make my build so bloody complicated? So what I'm thinking for this is that basically like this will be a cafe, and the front of the cafe, effectively like all of the kitchen bit of the cafe will be inside, will be like inside, and then there'll be just like a little bit that's kind of recessed, and that will be where like the guests come and get their food, basically. So just be kind of like a little rebated bit here. Guests will come up to that, to the like a service window or something. I'm trying to think if I've got I guess I could go and get the one I built for Missoula. Got to go, had the second job today and it's starting to make me feel a tad funny. Yeah, no worries, Daniel. I had mine yesterday actually as well, and I had the same. As the day went on, I just started to feel a little bit groggy. So yeah, chill out, dude. Take some chill time. Oh, thank you, Fauna. That's very kind of you. I'm glacially slow, but I'm not too bad. I mean, we are definitely blessed. The community is definitely blessed with some amazing builders. I think I have a certain obsessive level of micro detail. I don't think I think there's definitely things I'm not as good as a lot of other people in, but I think I'm probably one of the few people that would be looking at. I mean, I'll show you one tiny little thing. Hold on. I'm trying to do this without revealing too much. Yeah, let's just do this. I'll show you one tiny little thing I spent ages on earlier, which is just stupid. Like, I mean, this is a bracket for a shelf, basically. And I put in these. Oh, I'm actually missing that one. Oh, that's a good example. Well, I'm not showing you guys because it's not finished. I spent ages on it. I was like, why are you spending so long on that? Why are you spending so long on it? No one's ever going to notice. I think it just gives me pleasure. I'm just taking some of this out. Oh, yeah, bugger. Yeah, the little details. The little details are what make it satisfying. Even just things like, I think the thing is, what I really enjoy doing, I mean, it does end up just being like playing with a doll's house, this sort of game. Is that I end up kind of just going, I end up imagining how someone would interact with something, or how something would be, how something would work. So like it wouldn't be enough just for me to put that bit of metal. It's got to have a little plate, because how would you attach that bit of metal to the wall? You've got to have a little back plate where the screws go into the bracket. And it's stupid, but and I think this is the thing. Quite a lot of people often say you just can't put all of that into a video. It's impossible, or into a stream. So you end up with like stuff that is the stuff that's in my videos is like such a small percentage of the amount of work that's gone into it. So, I think there'll be like a canopy. Maybe there's like a canopy coming out. So I've just dumped this. I'm just dumping this guy in for scale. So it probably needs to be a bit wider than that. I think that needs a do-over. What's that? Yeah, I haven't finished that section yet, which is why I wasn't properly showing it. But yeah, I mean, it's a knack. It's a knack, Fauna, that you don't get really without practice. But I pretty much, and this is not criticism of anyone else, but like my taste is that, yeah, it's pretty unusual that I'd want to watch a 50-minute video of anybody. I just don't really have the time to sit and watch a 50-minute video. I really, really love the game. And I'm kind of one of those people. I think one of the unusual people in this community that I don't spend an enormous amount of time in like other people's, you know, videos and streams and stuff. Partly because I just think I would just get a bit saturated with the amount I really enjoy. So people sort of fall into one of two groups in the community, creator wise. They make, you know, longer videos because it is easier to make a video where you're basically just doing a tour, but what you'll end up with is a lot less videos. And I pretty much just try and make a video that I think I would watch. That's basically how I do it. And if I'm like, I'm not going to watch a 50-minute video. And the other thing is, what my feeling is, and it's definitely something that I think I stand by. I'm not saying it's right because it's just my opinion, but if you're a new creator, if you're someone who's not got a lot of content, someone brand new turns up to your channel and they don't know anything about you, what reason have they got to sit there for an hour and watch your content? It'd have to be pretty amazing thumbnail to get someone to watch for an hour. Now you might get someone watch, you know, obviously, you know, there's people will watch a live stream and stuff, but they won't. But imagine like I've never made any content and I start making a live stream. I start doing a live stream. You will get some people that watch it, but you've got to have a reason for someone to commit for an hour of watching something. And so I prefer to make videos that I think I would watch, and you know, they tend to be shorter. I think even 20 minutes is pushing it. And so that means you have to be brutal. I mean, I'm brutal with my editing. Yeah, I'm absolutely brutal with it. So if it's you know, what I say in my videos is that I'm showing the technique of me doing a thing. So like if I was doing this, like I'm recording all this footage, this whole stream, what we've been streaming for an hour and a half, there's probably about 10 seconds worth of footage of me doing, maybe even making the doors. But once you've got that, it's like, well, most of it's just going to be repetitive. You don't need to show. And the people that like you will watch, you know, they'll watch all of the video, and the people that, you know, don't know you will try a bit of the video and see how they get on. And if you're lucky, they'll watch the video, and then, you know, even if it's 20 minutes, they'll watch another one. They'll find another one of them. A bit of a Bob Ross Toves. 70% content, rest of the... Yeah, I get that, and I do get that from a lot of people. I get that from quite a lot of people. But that's not the majority. Say monkey. Monkey. Say monkey. I say monkey. I'd say it like monkey. How do you say it? God, it's so hot. Okay, that's probably got a bit big now. So this is going to be like recessed in somehow, and then this is going to be pulled back down again. Okay. Do you think they should add a European pack? I said this on someone's stream the other day and got a like, I can't remember who it was. Someone was like, meh, European pack. What would be in a European pack? I would love them to add a European pack. It's a little difficult to come up with a list of animals though. Geese, ducks, domestic cats. It's a little tricky to come up with a list of animals, but architecturally, yeah, definitely. Building wise, definitely. I think you could quite easily say that, and that was, I didn't say this, but you could quite easily say that, you know, a beef up to the classic pack would be a European, you know, European pack. Much more kind of ornate. We don't really have that in this. Yeah, we've got the stuff we've got in the in this stuff. Yeah, it's all a bit crap. It's all a bit naff. Like, it's all just a bit twee. Let's turn the bloops off for a second. Yeah, we've got otters though, dude. That's the thing. A lot of that's the thing. A lot of the animals that you'd think of. So you could say that, you know, red deer, wolves. We've got all of those, but in other packs. So we've got I think we've got South American otters. Yeah, this classic pack is really pretty light. It's just all a bit naff. And you don't really very often see, I'm trying to think of what creators I've seen used a classic theme who have done it really well. It's difficult because the pieces are not all that great. They're just a little bit. Do you know what makes a good piece in this game is adaptability. For one thing, a lot of these pieces don't have a recolor. They don't have the. I don't know if I've actually even seen that piece before. That's cool. Yeah, I think what the challenge is, Blin, is that every time I go to think of European animals, it kind of ends up feeling more like a petting zoo than a zoo, right? So they could do like a petting zoo, because you can kind of go, well, okay, what, like, you know, donkeys and horses and those sorts of things. You could have badgers. See, a badger doesn't fit in a zoo though, would it? That's what I mean. It does end up feeling more like a petting zoo, which I don't know about in most countries, but in the UK, a petting zoo is quite a different thing to a zoo. A petting zoo is more like a kind of farm experience. Or is that just me? But yeah, I certainly would like to see. Could get Europe a badger, a fox, Highland cow and gold. Yeah, I read all of that. Read all of that. Are you saying read more to me? I'm reading everything. reading it all. Hedgehogs. Yeah, again, hedgehogs would be wicked to see. But have you ever been to a zoo and seen a hedgehog? I've never been to a zoo and seen a hedgehog. I can't think of a time I've ever been to a zoo and seen an ibex. Is ibex a European animal? Yeah, that is some. I would say that's somewhere they definitely are lacking, Blin. You could, in theory, have a whole pack that is just like small animals. We don't have a lot of stuff that's because what they do is when the animals get really small, they stick them in the exhibit animals. Yeah, stick them in the exhibit boxes, and so they don't end up really working in the same way. Like you can't. So I'll show you in a second. When something gets small to the point, because you could have a lot of snakes and things. You'd have a lot more insects and reptiles. They basically just end up in this box, and that box is the same box that everything goes in, whether it's a tarantula or an iguana or anything. My worry is that when we get things like fish, and even potentially when we get birds, they're just in these boxes. They're just in new boxes. Never seen a hedgehog at a zoo. That's why we need them. True. I mean, I can potentially imagine them doing a petting zoo thing. But I'm not sure they would. I don't know how much appetite there would be for it. I think we'll get North America next. But I guess you could even argue with North America that there's a lot of animals that have been covered. Now we've got grizzly bears. I have to say, I mean, I think one of the packs I was, animal wise, I think I had higher expectations of the. I think I had higher expectations of the Australia pack than we got. Yeah, you could have. You saying that for? You saying links for North America? So I think we'll have this, and it will be like a canopied section. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Maybe there's like a canopy that comes out. How would one achieve such a thing? Right, so it needs to be like a roof on top of it. So like that point. I'm just sort of sketching at the moment. This is such a pain. It's such a pain. Because of this whole curved wall section, it's such a pain. And it's going to be a pain. It's going to be a pain if I continue to make it curved. But then the top piece has got to come down on top of it. It's got to be curved. Gold. Yeah, I think we'll get personally, I think we'll get North America with birds, because you can't have North America without a golden eagle, right? I don't think. If you think about it, if you had, what have we got? We've got grizzly bears. We've got what else could you have in America that we haven't already got? Cougars, I guess, like lynxes. I found it. You could have. What are you saying, Newton? You're saying yes, you can have the ibex. I think the ibex is like an antelope sort of thing, isn't it? Take it easy, Bled. I hope you're enjoying. We were talking about Ark a bit earlier, but I hope you have a good one. Okay, so that won't be too bad. I'm wondering if I just Because I want to have a canopy. Having a canopy coming off on a curve is going to be impossible. How does one achieve such a thing? So what I've kind of got in my head is that this is like a... see if we can get a... I was going to say, can we get a reference image? But you know, you see those like almost like a trailer. It's like a food trailer. You see them at festivals and stuff, or you see them in like, you know, in markets. Hold on, food truck. Let's have a look. Just trying to find a reference picture. Yeah, that's quite nice. Hold on, let's have a show you guys. So, like that thing, not actually as like a proper truck, but it's like a so it would be like a trailer. In fact, I could have it kind of sticking out. Did I just close that window? Yeah, I did. So I could have it like sticking out, and I have a bunch of them. So it would be like a food. It's almost like a food court, but there's like 2 or 3 of those kind of around the edges, sticking in, sticking in. Could have a Europe pack. You could have humans. Indeed, you could have humans. Humans. I don't know if I want to build it actually as a truck though. I want it just to have that kind of vibe that it's got like a raised. I don't even know how I would do that though. Oh, I tell you what. Hold on a sec. Let's go and gonna go back to something that I haven't looked at for ages and look at how I did this. I wonder if I can pick I might even be able to pick these up. So I built in the this might work actually. In the Australian zoo I did ages ago. Where is it? I think it's got like Bushman's Creek or something I called it. Yeah, let's go and look at this for a minute. I wonder if I can pick up. This is what I want. This vibe from this zoo, from this build, is exactly what I want in this centre space. Let's have a look. This is exactly what I want. So they are kind of like little food. So I built these all into the actual. I built these all into the containers. Yeah, I kind of like that vibe. I want this. I want this. How did I do this? Is this all like? Ugh. See, even this canopy and everything, I think would work pretty all right in there. I'm not 100% on the actual containers thing, but it could work. Yeah, this is cool as well. I forgot I did this. I think there's actually seats and stuff hidden in there. Okay, so how would I get some of this over? What did I blueprint here? So I think that's actually all in the same blueprint. Because I feel like that's all one habitat. Let's have a look. Is that that's the koalas? Oh, cola. Recycle containers. Oh, here we go. So we could see what that looks like. That might be kind of fun around the edge. That it looks like it's all kind of got containers stuck in it, and each one of those has got. Yeah, that would. I think that might work. Let's go back to it then. What if they added a walrus? Only a walrus, nothing else, and they don't add anything else for another 90 days? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? I would quite like to see. Yeah, we could have like sea lions, proper sea lions would be cool. That's something you see. Do you see sea lions at the zoo though? Is that not more of like a? Do you probably see them at the like SeaWorld Centre type things, don't they? They won't. They may well at some point in the future do that. I guess do like an aquarium-y type place. But there's a lot of speculation that Planet Coaster 2 is on the horizon, and that they're already working on that. Right, so we'd have to like hack this up. Let's just grab. Must be walrus and say that's the reason you find sea lions at the zoo. This has not got all the menu in it. I did that awesome menu and it's not here. But see, we've got all these all the signs are wrong on these. Let's just grab that and see what this looks like. Thing is, it's a little similar in texture to the timber. I don't know. I don't think this is going to work. I think that's a no. I'll tell you why. Because the rest of it is pretty. Oh crap! The rest of it is pretty modern. If I suddenly start doing that, it's all going to change. It's all going to change the theme. It's not going to work. And it's too similar to the. It's too sort of similar looking to the timber. Oh well. But there's definitely some things I might use from that. Some of the vibe from it. I like the kind of canopy things that I did, and the raised up platform. So what did I do to do that? It was just shops. I guess it was just shops. Oh, guest facilities. Just kind of up, wasn't it? See, that would probably work. I pray for the day that we get shops that we don't have to have these huge great big boxes on. That would be amazing, but I don't think it's going to happen. So if we were to do that, hold on, let's just play with some ideas for a minute, and then we just go. Oh crap! Put that back in there. Put it back in. And we need to get a little set of steps off of it, so that you kind of step up to a little window, and that maybe that is like a, so it's like a, so it would make that look like it's like a serving hatch, and then we put a window into the something like into a kitchen back there. And then we do that basically like 2 or 3 different places. So we have like information potentially as well. So that everything kind of sits coming off of this central plaza. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'm not sure how much. I think I'm probably going to be done for tonight. Because it's too warm and I think I need to take a break because I'm getting a bit hot. So we didn't do loads, but it's all, every little bit counts. Every little bit helps. So I think this will be the shop. Another shop to build. And you'll see what all of that stuff in there on Saturday. So I think that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the peeps. Oh, look, it's looking alright. It's looking alright. Slow progress, but it's looking alright. So yeah, there will be. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow at 6 p.m. UK time, I think it is. Where we'll basically just be looking at the House Flipper live stream, and then episode 2 of Zimba will be back, where you'll see all the bits that are behind the under construction, and you'll see the bit I've been kind of stealthily not showing you down there. That'll be up on Saturday, and then I'll be back streaming this again on Sunday for the proper Kangathon bit. I don't know if anyone. I didn't see any notifications come up or that little bar move along at any point, so I don't know if anybody did anything. This is obviously not just for my stream, this is everybody's stream, so when people give on the Just Giving page, it comes up there. If you haven't already, do check them out. You'll have seen the links coming out a million times anyway. If you can't afford to donate, which is very fair enough, then if you can hit up their YouTube channel or just support anybody like me that's making content on this stuff, I will be giving all of my ad revenue for this month for all of these streams and videos and things to them as well. Anyway, take it easy, peeps. Catch you on the next one.